Hi everyone, welcome back. We just had a fantastic first global final.
Absolutely.
Did you watch the game, Morgan?
I was casting it for China mainland.
Good for you, huh?
The next room, yeah.
Good
The
for
atmosphere
you.
was crazy over there. That's
Oh
for
my
sure.
God, love it. So, but like our viewers cannot wait to see our dev stream about what's going on in the next
Hopefully,
season.
let's be more humble. So maybe yes, we prepared a few things, guys, and just wanted to share our plans and also what's been going on recently, and hopefully you will enjoy a few things. So basically what we hope to cover today is actually a few topics. So we want to talk with you about the offline events that we recently ran, because these streams is not the only thing that we are doing to communicate with you. We also organize a few offline events.
Yep.
Also, to highlight a few things that you asked us to develop, and we delivered actually. So just to showcase these things, and also to talk about the in-game events that we are running at the moment. And the most important things is that we want to share with you our plans for the end of this year, what's going to be happening, what kind of content we are preparing, and talk about the future merging of the communities, of the platforms, and then, of course, to give you more information about the upcoming season and the content that haven't been announced yet. Today we're going to announce it for the first time.
Yeah, of course, and just a little alert right here. So we have a lot of contents going on today. So let's jump right into it.
Absolutely. So guys, we've been listening a lot to your feedback, not only on Discord that led to developing different features, but also we met you in person. We ran 2 offline events, and one of these was in Shanghai. We just had a great opportunity to receive a lot of feedback throughout these events, also on Discord, the most highlighted and liked suggestions from the players. So we started rebuilding our strategy of development half a year ago to actually following strictly the demands over there. So of course, one of the most important things is always optimization, how the game runs. So this is why our Chaos Engine team is working tirelessly, all these coders. We also partnered and had a lot of good opportunities to work as AMD and NVIDIA to implement multiple technologies, some of these in DLSS and FSR. And this actually also allowed us, with a combination of our art team, to optimize the visuals on multiple maps. And we are working on this regularly and going to be giving these updates in batches, a few maps and few rendering and other technologies implemented. Another, also one of
Huge improvement, the training cap.
Yeah, for years I also been dreaming about that. It was very challenging to convince the people that we need it, but finally we did it.
It's actually, we didn't do the job, but actually you guys did the job.
Yeah, we actually just got to the point here is 500 people who up voting and asking for this. Please, let's do this already. So,
yeah, so next time, if you want something fixed really quick, just please make more votes.
Yeah, vote on Discord. We are looking into this very forward. And guys, this training camp at the moment, this is only the basic version. We are aiming to improving it visually, functionally, and also adding additional features. So let us know. You can open another discussion about that. What kind of features added to the unit training camps you would like to have? Also, battle replay function. Because a lot of content creators, they have these kind of restrictions that you can only create content of your own gameplay.
Yep.
So we always wanted
Which is actually pretty hard, so yeah.
Yeah. We always wanted to give an opportunity to create different kind of content. So we are already tested and implemented battle replay function. So you can see some replays. We spread it out among content creators. And we are aiming also on improving and expanding this system to be much more robust.
Yeah, right now we're still, trying to improve it, and in terms of, user interface, user experience, and also your stability of the service. So once it's ready, we will probably have more, get it ready for a broader audience.
Yeah. So before we get to the next point, that is quite fun and big, that I'm very happy about, 3 other maybe minor things, but very nice to have. You can see your matches history, the history of your mates. Then you can also observe the matches, as mentioned, and artillery takeover. That was just so fun to implement.
I actually love it.
Yeah, we had a lot of memes, jokes about how we're going to present it some time ago. guys, thank you very much for these suggestions. Loving it, and thank you so much.
I just, sometimes I just hate it so much for those guys who just steal my artilleries.
But even more, who people hate is actually territory war slot blockers.
That's not on the same level,
Absolutely, it's like a little annoyance between like a deep-rooted hatred for life.
Yeah, of course, because territory war is actually a very complicated system, and also it's an ecosystem. So we are actually being very cautious on every single movement and every single changes to territory war system. One single move can cause a lot of difference in terms of how players were played. So, but slot blocking, it's been there for a while, and we actually received lots of feedbacks, and after a serious and thorough think, we actually had some solutions to deal with it.
Yes, and actually what you may have noticed is that this month, in the beginning of this month, we launched an update with 2 additions that basically are targeting on slot blocking. So the first one is that now different levels of fees, starting from the villages, ending with capitals, will have certain requirements for how many attackers should there be minimum, because previously you could like use one guy and he would like do all this crazy stuff, but now based on your fief level you will need from like 2 people and up to more and more. So it's not going to be so easy to implement, and also we are supporting this direction with the system is about morale, as we call. So basically if the attacking side is losing their heroes and they go down below the threshold that is the minimum requirement, they will start losing points, morale points, until they get enough of attackers on their side. So this is all just to serve this our direction to address the slot blocking problem. But we also know that this is only the first steps, so we're also implementing the reporting system.
Yeah, and also this is actually the first time that we officially said, no to slot blocking. So I understand, in the My Games, times, we actually had the slot blocking reporting system in the community, and then I think we are looking forward to rebuild it. And also, this is actually the first time that to the APAC community that we're gonna officially announce that slot blocking is actually abuse of gaming mechanisms, and then we will this is just a first step of increasing the the bar of doing it, and actually we're going to work with the community to develop a efficient mechanism to deal with it. And also, for those of you who are still thinking about slot blocking, I assure you that
it's a bad idea,
and there gonna be some serious punishment on that.
Yeah, guys. So we're gonna be implementing step-by-step in-game design solutions, but also gonna be kind of forcing this rule in the next weeks. So guys, you also noticed that we have been making a few changes to our shop and our monetization system. There are a few steps to that. So you will notice that we have been experimenting with some premium types of new attires that are kind of optional but quite difficult to get, and we wanted to explain to you why we are doing that and what is the idea behind that. So Leon, maybe you could tell a few words about that.
Yeah, I think a shift from the monetization system, from the progression-based and to the cosmetic-based is actually a big, a step forward. So we understand that players in the community complain that for new players, it's just too hard for them to catch up with the progress with the existing players, and also for returning players, because some of them may be away from the game AFK for quite a while, and then it's actually kind of hard for them to get the seasonal units, and also to know the current meta, and also to grind the progression to catch up to the speed. So we are actually working towards less progression, but we understand that most of the players, they love to express themselves in the game. So no matter it's some memes, it's some icons, and also maybe even some trollings within the battlefield, but obviously also cosmetics as well. So I think we will slightly twist our monetization model towards a more self-expression.
Yes, and to add to that, guys, is that we are going to be aiming onto different kind of tiers of cosmetics. So some of them are going to be kind of like very difficult to obtain, and it's going to take you to unlock. Some of them are going to be very easy and to unlock some mini battle passes that you very easily can open, or direct sales with different ranges. So we aim to kind of distinguish these by different levels, and just remember that this is optional. It's not anyhow influences your strength or progression or anything.
And also it has nothing to do with the balancing, also nothing to do with
exactly.
the numerical system.
Yes, and guys, you also noticed that on 23rd of August we made an update to the pricing in different regions, and actually because throughout the times with my games and APAC regions, we had different pricing for sovereigns, and that led to different pricing in in-game stores. So because we are aiming now to unify all the regions, we decided to unify the prices, and our decision was to pick like the cheapest price in each region, and then downward the price in other regions. So basically we wanted to like decrease the prices for everything, and this is like our standard.
Yep. So I think we already had this event going on starting from August 23rd, and it's permanent.
Yes, it's permanent.
Yeah, it's permanent. And then I think in the new season, I think, and also going forward, we will have lower prices. And also, the most impacted, items are actually premium account and also the drill packs. So, so for those of you who are, trying to
progress faster,
just keep an eye on it. And then I think we will keep monitoring and keep listening to the community to see what else you want.
And one thing, guys, that many, maybe not many of you know, is that historically in regions of my games, the Battle Pass was slightly more cheap. And then in APAC, so we made like discount for APAC and Battle Pass, and some of you guys said, oh, why don't we have this discount? But basically, actually, we made APAC Battle Pass cost to be the same as in my game, so just to address this issue. So remember, we just put all the prices to the lowest standard between two regions. So yes, and what Leon just said about all the pressure to new players and also for churn players is one of the things with that monetization, how we readdress, but also the in-game events that we are running. And Leon, from September 5th to October 8th, we're running Gather to the Beacon event. And maybe you could tell us like the idea behind this a little bit, and I can get into some details.
Yeah, actually, because like we've been receiving suggestions, also communications from, especially from new players and also from players who are trying to come back. Many of them are afraid that, okay, so how about the new seasonal seasonal units, and how about the current meta? I'm not so familiar with that. I got afraid, and many reasons why I should not join right now. So we actually had this Gather to the Beacon event to lower the barrier, about the new players, progression, and also to welcome the returning players back.
Yeah.
I think the rewards on the screen is just it's just an appetite.
Yeah, and
so,
you can go to our website to get all the details how to participate, how your friends who can participate if you left for some time. But like the most juicy parts about the rewards, of course, aside from those that you see here, are the ability to unlock a very handsome artillery or Divine Crow, but tier 4 and tier 5 seasonal unit box. So basically, new players and if you haven't played for some while, you can get any seasonal unit of tier 4 and tier 5 for free, fully unlocked.
Yep, and also just to emphasize, so tier 5 unit right here is not only the unit tree, tier 5. You can actually select any tier 5 in the previous seasons.
Yeah, previous season, not the ongoing one yet.
Yeah, so we actually had a wide variety of choices. And also you have actually a Divine Crow is actually pretty efficient in the territory.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually very efficient.
it's a killer.
Yeah, and also for the Epic Hero, schematics, actually you will have the opportunity to catch up with your equipment, your hero equipment. So with the artilleries, with the Tier 4 and Tier 5 units, and also with brand new weapons and also equipment, I think you will be more than ready to jump back to the battlefield.
True, and everyone knows how it's difficult to get Epic Hero schematics in the game and build a set. So guys, these were like a few highlights about what's been going on here and what we actually already implemented, but we also wanted to talk about like what's going to be happening. And the most important part is that we have
new heroes and new maps.
Yes, exactly, and like new heroes, because like for some time we've been like focusing a lot on refurbishing a lot of systems in the game, balancing also like progression and art style. So we had kind of a delay with delivering the new heroes.
Yep.
Sorry for that. But we are now made a commitment with the all different departments that every year we release one hero at least.
Yep.
And one season, one map, we're going to be releasing every season starting from season Lionfire.
Yep.
Yes. So we also are preparing like a total revamp of our UI and UX in the game to make it more informative but also less clunky, and the art style should be more unified. So these updates are going to be coming one by one.
Yeah, and also like CB is actually a huge system right now. We have lots of information going on. So I think the new user interface actually aimed to brief the information when necessary, and then to hide those unnecessary ones.
True, true. And not less, but super important, guys, is Territory Wars, is that we are aiming to be bringing new mechanics every season, adding something, seeing how the data performs, how your feedback performs, and our goal actually is to create Territory Wars rules and mechanics that are inspired by the topic and the theme of each season.
I think this is actually one big move forward. It's actually because Territory Wars, it's mostly about houses fighting houses. But sometimes people get tired about fighting fighting with each other in the same setting. So I think to make thematic changes, and also it's thematic. It's not just random changes to the tutorial system. I think it's actually will create new ecosystem and also new mechanisms, and houses can have
different
other tactics.
Yes.
And
also to add to it, guys, is that we are now experimenting with different opened regions on different servers. We launched in kind of a test, so to say, in China mainland servers. So basically, the regions that are open over there are different compared to all other servers. It's because we want to adapt to the realities of different servers, their size, also their like cultural preferences. So expect some news about that.
Yeah. So Territory is going to be one of the major focus of improvement going forward, especially within this year. I think we would let us know if you have any further thoughts on Territory Wars.
It's true. So guys,
that's the big map.
Yeah. Not the smallest one, but you can see like the things that are from the left, basically the shop update and PvP events that we ran, this already behind us. Then we are working and developing new player experience that is actually pretty much ongoing process. We are releasing these regularly. Progression updates that are referring to how you obtain experience, how you obtain different items also. We also working with the community. So in the EU, we are hiring for a community manager because the majority of our team, we are sitting here.
And also in the US.
Yes, and in the US, but we need some help to kind of supervise slot blocking during Territory Wars in Europe, also handling some matters within the community in Europe.
Yeah, just to provide better community services.
True, guys. So, Season Lionfire, you already know it launches on September 19th. It's bringing a new map.
It's not only a new map, it's a new era.
Yeah, new era, but to be honest, like we saw your comments about the trailer. We can talk about this later, about the new era. I think it's an interesting topic.
Yep.
Yeah, but also just to add, guys, that we bringing like thematic rules for Territory Wars, and we are working on the upgrade of our technology that actually we've been preparing for quite a while. That took quite immense amount of time. we're gonna create a huge improvement to Territory Wars. So because like now you have Territory Wars lanes instances when you sometimes are kind of disconnected from other players on Territory block. So our goal is actually to make like on every block on Territory Wars, you will see all the players. It's going to be one line. It's going to be one instance. So we are on the finalized stages to implement that.
Yeah, I think imagine the world that you can see all the players in one
Exactly.
line. You don't have to switch lines to say, oh my God, they're coming from that line, right?
Yeah,
it's actually
yes,
a
yes.
huge, improvement for
Yes.
other. And also like because the Conquest Blade is all about the warfare, right? The more people you can see in the map, the more intensive,
Of course.
dynamics going.
This was like the vision from the beginning, but again, like not so many technologies can achieve that. So we're working on that. So also there is some secret thing that we are preparing. It's an not a secret anymore. It's some IP collaborations that we are going to be doing in the future.
That's still
from
secret, but
time
we'll reveal it later.
Yeah. And hopefully you will enjoy it. And we are, as mentioned, before the end of the year, we're making like a big UI overhaul. And then before the year ends, we are releasing another season. And this season is going to bring a new hero class and a new map.
Yeah, and also for, I think lots of people asking for balancing changes. I think we're going to have another balancing updates within this season. And also, I think we will probably give out some more thoughts on how like what is the ideal or what is the expectations on different meta, and also what do we think is actually the the healthy battleground ecosystem.
True. And actually, we are making some steps to showcases different statistics from different regions, so you could also understand more precisely why we make those or different decisions regarding balance.
Yeah, so I think one last thing for the balance is actually we will be transparent, and also we will let you know that what is the principle that we're following up. Yeah. So please stay tuned, and we will have further discussion and further communication on the balancing soon.
True. Yeah. And guys, the topic that we wanted to bring today, Leon had a good idea how to call it. So Leon, maybe you could take on this and introduce us.
Yeah, of course. Yep. So for those of you who have played CB for a while, that you know that CB is actually like divided into two parts. We call it like the international servers, which is like one part is like APAC that we already know, like we already had global CBL, so we just saw how Asian players are playing, and also we have the website as well. So because of the population difference, we were unable to merge the two ecosystems together. So I think we've been working on this pretty hard, since the takeover from MG in June. So finally, like we're here. So we are proud to announce that we will merge these two ecosystems starting from September 19th. And the unification means we're going to have, unification of Steams. We're going to have unification of Steam pages. We're going to have one global website. And also we're going to have, similar launchers, going forward. So why are we doing this? And obviously, like just like we said before, CB is actually the playground of global warfare lovers. So we want to actually enable players to actually compete, actually play around, and also work with each other. No matter where you come from, and they should not be separated. Through IP block, they should not be separated through like publishing difference. Which is pretty nonsense, right? So we will have cross-server game modes, and going forward we might have territory war events cross-continental. So also you will have the ability to create characters on any server that you want. So for example, like for those of you who are playing in the European servers, if you want, you can feel free to create one character in the APAC servers and to see how APAC players are playing. Vice versa. If you're playing on the APAC servers, you're more than welcome to join the the European servers or in the American servers to take a look. And also we want to just like the CBO just finished. I mean, I just watched all players talking about the strategies, how good is it on both teams. So why not? We just adding friends, and also we can chat, and also we can add to group members
in the game. Yeah.
In the game, right? It's actually we should enable this, and then also we've seen lots of announcements. And also because of the different different versions, and we need to, for example, even the gift codes, right? We need 2 gift codes for different servers. So I think afterwards we will have a better experience in general. So yeah, the biggest thing and the first step is actually the unified Steam page. So that we have 2 different Steam pages, and then on September 19th, I got too excited. And then Poros and Booming Steam pages will become official. And then for Western players that you're playing in the formal MG Steam page, we will finally be one, and then we will merge into one Steam. So you will have only one entrance. So starting from September 19th, whoever is searching Conqueror's Blade on Steam will only have one result, and there's no IP log, no nothing. And then you will see, both APAC players and Western players. You can communicate with each other in the discussion forums, and also leave the same, reviews, and also interact with each other, which is.
And we know that it may be like a little bit stressful for some of you, and we actually already published an FAQ on the website on Steam regarding that, so you can check that in very detail. But we also wanted to highlight a couple of major concerns regarding this transfer of Steam.
Yep. Okay, I think it's pretty much the time for the second set of gift codes.
Sure, guys. And guys, we are actually trying to read the chat while talking. Please forgive us if we are not able to read all the things at the moment. But Leon, I think
we have a Q&A section.
First, we have a Q&A session, and I hope people are writing the questions from the chat. So later,
yeah, of course, we can get back to them.
And we have Q&A session in the end, guys. So we will reply as many questions as possible. Don't worry about that.
Yep. So we have the second set of gift codes. So again, the first gift codes is actually for the Western players. So you can, for those of you who are playing in the West servers, in the European, also in the American servers, you can use this one. And for the second one, it's actually for APAC. So whoever is playing with the APAC servers, you can use this gift code. And again, so this is time limited. So we already write down the deadline of the redemption of the gift code. So please don't forget to redeem it on time. So again, that's why, because we have 2 gift codes. So that's why we are merging the 2 ecosystems together. So in the next time we will only have one. So yeah, so we have a list of concerns regarding the Steam merge. We received lots of questions, so we just wanna answer some of the key questions.
Guys, most importantly, if you are watching this stream, you're already playing on Booming Poros Steam page. You don't need to do anything at all, and just play as usual. You won't be affected in any way. Besides that, you will see inflow of new possible friends and more community engagement. So, but if you are from North American or European servers, guys, we just wanted to tell you that we talked to the Steam staff. They will add the game client of APAC to your game libraries. So you're going to be able just to go to your game library. You will see Conqueror's Blade APAC, and you can just download it and play it without taking any further actions.
Yeah, I think Steam gonna replace the the Steam like the Conqueror's Blade inventory, and also the library automatically.
Actually, inventories, guys, something that Leon mentioned. Our team is working to make sure that all your items going to be safe.
Yep.
Because some people were
don't worry, your items, your units, your characters will be safe.
Yes, and the thing is that while we transitioned from My Games, we had a lot of blocks of data, and it was kind of encrypted in their own way, and it's in a different way that we behave with the data. So you remember that for a week there were some missed items, or you come to the server, your character is not so high. So these kind of things will not happen this time because like this is coming from our encrypted data to our encrypted data. We're just changing the server. So stay assured it's going to go smoothly on that level. So also, the game is going to be added to library. You can find it, download it, or go to the Steam page from it. Also, as Leon mentioned, you just search the game, Conch Blade, and you will find it, the only page. You just play as usual, and we are preparing to recreate all these Steam achievements on our page because like there are some different achievements that on my game side that not exist on our side. So in the following days after September 19th, we are manually recreating all of these, and we're gonna be assuring that you will get these same achievements on Steam.
Yeah, and also we're gonna save all your historical reviews on our
This is
website.
the next topic. This is we're coming very soon to that one.
Yep. Yeah,
About
that's
the
the
website,
website. Yes.
yes.
So yeah, let's just jump forward. So we're gonna have one unified official website. So all the functions on both sides, both APAC websites and the old, West website will be combined to one. And then just like I said, your Steam content is actually safe.
Yes.
So all your reviews, all your community content, from the West Steam will be preserved on the website. So log into the website, and also you can search for your historical reviews and
your guides also. So we know that many of you, we also read some of these guides. Thank you so much for doing that. Spent so much time, so we didn't want all this just to be wasted. So we spent some time developing new features on our website, and we preserving everything. So you can go to the website if you want to share your guides to your friends on your past guides on Steam to your friends. You can send a link to the website. They can find it there. So stay assured.
Yeah, it's a lot of data, but I think it's it
must be done, absolutely.
Yeah, of course, it's just like the precious assets of our community. Yes. So. Yeah, and also, please join the community on Discourse as well, just in case you didn't. But I think for most of you who are still watching this, I think you're probably
long friends. So.
Yep, and also, Anton, you want to introduce some of the key, community events?
Yeah, actually, because we are unifying, so we wanted our community colleagues. They came out with a few cool ideas. It's about. Kind of interconnecting different regions.
Yeah, we have to break the ice,
Yes, absolutely. So we're now running a event, Legends of the West and East, where we already have something like 1,500 participants. They're writing their best moments. Also,
I think they're gonna YB has another good chapter to write.
Absolutely, absolutely. The second game was just so epic. Flashbacks from CBL. Then we're going to be running a community event called Spy vs. Spy, where you will have to collect some information from different servers and their participants and receive rewards. And the next community event also going to be running in parallel the Great Migration. Your words, your history. So for all the details, come to our Discord, guys. These community events are going to be announced on the dates shown on the screen. Yeah,
because it's a merge, it's a new start for everyone. So I understand, because of the mechanism of the Steam, so we cannot just automatically transfer all your reviews to the new page. So feel free to leave new comments for those of you who are playing in the West page.
Yeah, if you want to recreate your community posts, screenshots, reviews, anything, you can just copy paste from the website, go to the new Steam page and recreate it there.
Yeah. And
now, yes,
the exciting parts.
Yes, guys, you already know the name of the season. You've seen a few things. We're gonna walk you through some things that you've already seen and knew, and we're gonna give you some bits of information that we haven't announced yet. So you're gonna be the first ones who've seen and knew about it.
Yeah. So actually, Morgan is actually part of the core creations and also designing of Season 11 farm. So going forward, Morgan will share some of his thoughts during the period.
Guys, you already seen the KV. We're gonna talk a little bit about why we chosen this theme. So it's a Warfare Revolution, and you'll notice that it's all around Sweden and Gustav II. And we wanted a little bit of twist with actually highlighting the gunpowder, firepower.
The man with firearm.
Yes, totally different feeling. And guys, let's just rewatch the trailer. I know you've seen it, but hopefully you will enjoy it. And then I will explain why we made these kind of decisions with the music, with the theme, with the units and so on.
From home, Stockholm. It's a merging call for the 30 years war. I dream about it through a loaded times war. Falling right for the body. We're gonna conquer the world. I won't be alone with my gun. There you come, what's it gone? I'm hurt and I'm choosing not to down it.
Welcome back, guys. Thanks for bearing with us. So yes, so Gustav II, Gustavus Adolphus, one of the most legendary person from this area, the most legendary, so many people think,
revolutionary
king of Sweden, total warrior that have been injured multiple of times, always fought, sometimes won, sometimes lose, but he had two names, actually. The Lion from the North was his first nickname, and the next one was Father of Modern Warfare.
Yeah, with the gunpowder, of course.
So this is where the inspiration's coming, and we tried to project that with the design of this season, combining these key elements. So we know that probably the turning point in his life was Nuremberg stronghold. That probably was not the most pleasant moment in his life that led to the downfall, but we decided to create the map inspired by Nuremberg and kind of recreate the warfare that he created with same-minded people that started relying more and more on gunpowder, artilleries, arquebuses, muskets, and to approach these kind of star fortresses, you had to dig a lot of trenches from different angles because these fortresses were protected by multiple cannons, not letting the attackers to come. So always the attackers digged in these zigzag trenches, and we wanted to project this gameplay on the map. So basically this is going to be one of the kind of unique maps where the first flag A is actually outside of the fortress. The defenders have a chance to kind of capture and hold the attackers' trenches. There's also going to be a supplying point over there. And regarding the name of the map, we decided not to kind of expose this name to you.
And we will wait for later, you know.
Yes, because like probably we're going to tease up too many things that may be quite exciting. So also to project the firepower and gunpowder.
And also we're talking about the thematic changes about seasons here, and here
Yes.
it comes.
Yes,
this is
exactly.
a new set of rules for Live Fire.
Yes, exactly. So this is why we decided to project all this firepower into the Territory Wars design. So we are introducing the following mechanics, guys. First, because like Gustavus is a legendary leader that
And
always
he likes to lead the charge himself.
Absolutely. This is why he was injured so many times. So during this season, when your house leader joins the battle, your whole team, all the units in your team, you're going to be getting buffs to attack. These buffs they're going to be progressional based on your house level, starting from 1 to 10, starting from 5% to 10%. And the funny part is that if your house leader is going to fall, then for 30 seconds, your whole team gets doubled buff just to be outraged and revenge your house leader. So we hope that
And it could be a tactic too.
yes,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
talk to my house leader. Hey guys, hey man, like it's your time.
It's time to go.
It's time for some sacrifice. Yep.
Yeah. So the second thing, guys, is that Gustavus, he actually created totally exemplary supply lines for his modernized warfare. So we wanted to project it that all culverins and mortars during the season, while you're crafting them, you're going to have like 20% discount on all resources. And also now, if you are taking them to the big world, your speed is going to be not as slow as 2.8, but it's going to be increased dramatically to 3.5.
That gives more mobilities.
True. And to go even further, guys, we wanted to combine two problems. The first one is that during territory wars, it's sometimes difficult to create supply lines, proper supply lines, because like your siege camp sometimes maybe too far away or something. We are introducing a new type of siege camp, like it's an instrument warehouse, a work in progress name. We're going to be making it live in 2 weeks after the season release. And basically how it's going to work, you're going to be able to dispose some artilleries over there, and your housemates can freely take it out from there. So this way you can actually have some players, for example, like you have some newbie players on your clan without units.
You can share some artilleries.
Yeah, maybe they're going to be doing the job of bringing the artilleries to the front lines while all the veterans are fighting. So this is our like first step to address like more deep strategic and supply.
And also to involve
strategy.
more different kinds of players into the territorial system.
Exactly. Because like veteran players, they would probably not enjoy that much just carrying stuff, but for a newbie player, it's why not? Yeah. And guys, also we are increasing the supplies and gathering rates of copper and iron in the game by 10%. And the units, you already saw the presentation in the article and the gameplay of our 3-star tier 3 unit, Raythar Pistoliers.
Yep.
And you know that this unit is a very mobile hybrid unit with pistols, with double shot that can apply some crowd control effects, but also it can bite a little bit in the close combat. And we promise you that the damage output from their pistols is going to be something that you need to deal with. But also this unit is, the amount of entities is not so high, and it's not the most tanky unit. So soon you will know much more during like PTR that we are opening, which we had slight challenges today due to some IP blocks, but we're working on that. So on PTR you will see all the units. So the next unit is Swine Feathers, tier 4. Basically, our idea was to create also a little bit of a multi-purpose unit. First thing to know about them is that they are very precise in close combat, close range, and the damage output is quite high. But they're not going to be as good in like a longer range as other musketeers of tier 4, tier 5 eras. And the coolest part that we wanted to bring for like many seasons is more like kind of deployables, and it's a historical thing. And basically, they are carrying these pikes, stakes, spears. You can actually deploy them in the direction that you like, and it's going to be dealing damage and stopping cavalries. So a very versatile unit. We hope that you will enjoy, but it's not also the most tanky unit, so archers are going to be having a lot of fun killing them.
Yep.
And
the cannons.
This, you know the story. Like we had a French season, guys, Paragons, a couple of years ago.
2 years ago, I think. Yeah.
When we actually wanted to bring this unit to you, but like. We already like 3 units that season, and all had like unique mechanics. We had like banner guys, banner guards. We had new healing unit. Then we had tier 5 chevaliers who bring the 3rd unit with them like a retinue. So like we had already like 3 unique units of mechanics, and like whole our team like was working like so tirelessly. We just couldn't finish the 4th like totally unique mechanic unit during that French season. And after that, like the topics of our seasons, they just weren't very much aligned with the cannon and artillery units. So finally we got Gustavus Adolphus, and I think like this is like probably was destiny to only for Gustavus Adolphus to be having artillery unit that we called Lion Roar Crew. And guys, this information we haven't announced yet, and I saw many questions on our YouTube channel when you saw PV, on Reddit, on Discord. People been wondering if, this is very like static unit that cannot climb the walls, or like many assumptions. But just to reveal some information, guys, basically it's a bunch of like more than 1,000 entities of artillerists.
Yeah, it's that mobile artillery is right here. It's
Yes.
mobile, you
And
know.
basically, like they start without any cannons,
Yep.
and then you can send them wherever you like and place their like note the place where you want to build the artillery, and they will build it. And actually, you can also then move it, you can replace it, and you can actually even rebuild it. And this unit is going to have like two abilities. Basically, like it's going to be like protecting certain angle direction, like suppressing fire. And the second one, you can attack, choose some area and attack a certain direction with bombardment.
Yeah, you will see the patch note and also a formal introduction of the unit in the following couple of days.
True.
Don't worry.
Yes, yes. So now about the attires, why they look like this. We mentioned that Gustavus, he was called Lion from the North. So we decided first to project his lion mask on a lion head over there. And also he participated in many battles. So he had many injured parts. So we wanted to cover like different parts of his injured areas with metal to not to be like fully historical, but some kind of like character that is inspired by historical Gustavus with a twist of Conqueror's blade. So another thing is that the female attire, especially in certain regions, we noticed that certain
love it.
yes, certain bluntness over there sometimes works pretty well. So hopefully you will like it. And for like BP0, Aurora's Glory, is much more like a historical, accurate attire that is pretty much inspired by real clothing and
Yeah, back to that time.
appearance. Yes. So regarding other parts of the Battle Pass, guys, so we are bringing 3 weapon attires. Sorry, we only going to show to you the musket attire today, and then the unit attire and the horse attire. So feel free, if you like, to purchase Battle Pass. If you don't like, you can just skip it, and hopefully you will enjoy it. We prepared to you the video. Some of you have seen it, but let's just play it. And remember, like if you pre-order the Battle Pass, you can also unlock the Tier 3 unit Razor Pistoliers.
Yep. Yep, the pre-order just, or not just, but already started, starting from September 5th. So for those of you who still wandering around and who still checking on this, please take your time.
Yeah, if Battle Pass is something that you do in games, like this is the best moment because it brings a lot of bonuses to pre-order. If not, then it's your choice, guys. So we finally got to the end of our presentation, and the majority of things that we directly wanted to discuss with you, we already covered. And there are many questions on Twitch chat, so we will try to have some conversation with you and address a few things. Some of these questions are coming from the chat, some of them from YouTube also. So again, like some players, they've been concerned about like Steam achievements, whether there are going to be any bugs. Like to be absolutely honest, guys, like for us, the transition period, like and changing Steam page, this is like very unique thing. We never done this, and not I think like in 10,000 games, 100,000 games, not many games had 2 Steam pages and transferring this thing. So we talked to the Steam staff. We figured out how to do this. So we have like already been working on this, but 100% guarantee we cannot give this to you. But I think like we are quite confident that you will get all the achievements in a few days. And if there is going to be some delay, we'll fix it, and you will still get these achievements. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry. We will work closely with Steam and then make sure it's a smooth transfer.
Yes. Another question, guys, is about how people can become content creators of Conqueror's Blade. So Leon, maybe you can tell a few words about that.
Yeah, I think you can just go to our Discord and go talk to one of our or any of our moderators or our CMs. So we actually have a program, and also if you can go to Lurkit, and then there's gonna be we call it CBCP, Conquest Blade Content Creator Program. So feel free to register and feel free to join the program.
So yeah, guys, Lurkit, if some of you may know, maybe not, Lurkit is a platform for content creators that we working with. So you can apply there. But also, the simplest way, you can simply go to our Discord, find one of community managers. It will be Cool01 and Spartan. Also, you can just ask them, hey guys, I want to be a content creator. So we welcome everyone, and because we're all the same kind with the same passion, so welcome to join the program. Then the question regarding whether you guys need to, if you are in the European and North American servers, if you you need to re-download the game from the scratch. We addressed that on FAQ, and we spoken to Steam staff. Unfortunately, they don't have any technical way to avoid that. So we've been told by Steam that all players will have to re-download the game. We know that it's kind of wasting a couple of hours of time and a little bit of inconvenient. We apologize for that, but unfortunately we just don't have any technical solution with Steam due to their platform limitations. Then the questions regarding your premium account time. Some people spent certain sovereigns for
don't worry, you will be capped.
1,000. Yeah, don't worry. All your sovereigns, all your items, all your statuses are safe because all the data is actually within our files. It's not, again, as I repeat, when we've been transitioning from my games with their encryption to our encryption. So everything is going to be kept. Don't worry about that. Then. Of course, when we announced and shown the PV, many players assume that we're bringing dual pistol weapon class.
The cowboy system.
Yeah. So Leon, I'll take a break. Please talk about the heroes, how often they released, what kind of things we are planning.
Of course, yeah. I think just in a few pages ahead, so we already announced that for every year, we're going to have a new hero class. And for every season, we're going to guarantee there's a new map. So obviously we didn't have a new weapon class, within the season of Gostov, which means you will see the new weapon class or hero class by the end of the year,
yes,
which is study of the second season. So it's already in the pipeline, and also we have a prototype of it already. But Alex, sorry, we cannot tell you, right? Obviously, we cannot tell you today. So we'll definitely get one for the next season. And I think I saw players, wandering around. Talking about if all the new units are ranged, and also are they OP or are they too weak? So for those of you, just know that we are running our PTR during the weekend. So if you're interested, please join our PTR, and then we will try our best to make sure that those units will be well balanced and also well placed in the battlefield. So please give up your feedbacks and also your suggestions. Yeah. How to place them in the battlefield.
Yeah, true. Also, guys, we've noticed that, and community managers, they noticed that on Discord, you have a lot of feedback on the crowd control immunity and health immunity, 1 second rune. So, guys, we know that for some of you, it's a super critical thing. So we are talking to the combat designers to see the data and to figure out how to do that.
I think the update for the next season is we're gonna remove the 1 second immunity for the heavy armor classes, and then we're still gonna keep it for the others.
Yes. So because the survivability of heavy armor was
more than enough.
More than enough, yeah. But also maybe Nodachi with armor build with this rune also.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Yep.
Yeah. So then, guys, about the ranged units, why we decided that we want to bring more ranged units. So basically, guys, it's the complex thing here is the following. On tier 3 era, when the new season begins, like there are plenty of ranged units in the game, and actually they are like swarming all the stuff. But with every next tier, like tier 4, tier 5, you see like the data is changing, and actually on middle level of play and like a higher level of play, like ranged units is more like a specialist units, and it also much depends on the server. We've noticed that the differences there are a lot. So what we wanted to do, we actually wanted first, like because like the artillery cannon units, why we're bringing it, because on tier 5 era, when there is a box of tier 4 shields and even like tier 3, tier 4, and they're like supported by phalanx, by iron reapers, and if you create this kind of a death ball, you need more AoE damage. So we have Nafa, we have like coconut throwers to do some AoE, and we don't count too much like on artillery from the heroes itself. We wanted to create more AoE damaging solution to the death balling. So also for tier 3, one of the reasons why we decided to make it ranged cavalry is that in some occasions tier 5 cavalry, if it's not approaching the pikes or too close to muskets, is very difficult to be kind of neutralized. You just need some cavalry duels, especially on field maps. So tier 3 cavalry has quite decent armor penetration, also crowd control. So on field maps especially, you're going to be able to quite counter cost by cost with a lot of micro. With your tier 3 cavalry, you're going to be countering tier 5 cavalry. So this is also going to create the situation that your tier 3 is a threat to tier 5 cavalry, and then now the team of tier 5 needs to counter your tier 3 cavalry. So we trying to open new possibilities for you to play and create new meta.
Yeah, and I think it's time for the last sets of gift codes, right?
Yeah, why not? Let's,
So I think we will take a few more questions, but I think we can have the gift codes,
Sure, let's go.
along,
Yes,
when we're answering the questions.
Just to remind you guys, so like basically when you activate these gift codes, the top one is for West.
For the European and also
Yes.
American service.
Yes.
So the second one is actually for the APAC service.
Yes. And
so again, it's time limited.
Yeah. And the rewards are as follows, guys. One of the codes is 3 treatises. The second code is 4 treatises. And another code is a voucher to unlock unit challenge. So the next thing is news, again, like about the new hero class. We already opened to you in the information, guys. It's not coming this season. We are working on the class for the end of the year on that season, so you will see it before 2025. Then seasonal shop, like there are some feedback from players, for example, like actually 2 feedbacks. The first one is that attires from previous seasons, they are too expensive with the seasonal points. It's like you need to farm whole battle pass, and you can only probably open only one old attire weapon. Like some players also wondering like if any changes are going to be implemented over there.
Yeah, I think there are more players concerned about the next balancing moves. Like people have like concerns on Wei, people have concerns of other units as well. So as we spoke during the roadmap, so we're gonna have one more major balance and upgrades, and also we're gonna have a separate discussion with the community on the balancing issue. So we'll talk about that in more details.
Yeah, and then the next question will be the event for swapping blue gear schemes for purple schemes in the new season. I would say that it was not in the pipeline, but guys, again, like you can go to Discord, open a new suggestion, call your friends to thumb him up, and all in your hands. We're gonna try to balance between like the economical infrastructure of progression and like the rewards of the items and your satisfaction. So we cannot promise you that everything that being asked, because like of course we want always everything to be unlocked very, very like easily, but Epic Schematics is like one of the top items to pursue in the game. So we want to keep some rarity of this.
Yep.
And changing it like exchanging like blue to purple. It's like a big step. So let's discuss on Discord, show your dedication to this topic, and we will return to you. So we're going to be transparent here.
So maybe probably we're going to take, one or two more questions.
Yeah, I think like a few more questions, and that would be very great. So one of the questions, whether they're going to be more customized ways to customize the character.
Yes.
And here, good news, guys. Yes, we are actually working on some new systems regarding that haven't been implemented, and I would say that it will be totally new, and we hope that you will like it. And again, you will see the first steps of it before the end of this year.
Yep. And I saw other suggestions on the surrender button. Actually, we talked about this internally for quite a few times. I mean, it's not so easy to have it. I understand, in other matchmaking games and also PvP games, some of them do and some of them do not. Conquest Blade is actually a 15 versus 15, matchmaking, siege battles. So, we understand, in some extreme, scenarios, especially when, when attackers are out of their units and also defenders are like with, a bunch of remaining units, then probably this is a time that attackers cannot do too many things. I think those are the times when, players are so struggled, and probably we will find a solution to that. But, but the other times, I mean, like, people have different judgment and people have different view on, when to surrender. So I think we'll be very cautious on that. So please don't worry. This is already in our radar, and then we will do some more research and also communicate with you guys if we come up with some designs, and we'll let you know.
And very well noted, Leon. Actually, we have announced to players that we're going to publish the rule book for Territory Wars.
Yes.
And that it haven't been published. So players are asking, like, what's going on, why the delay is.
Yeah, I think it's going to be published within the season. I think it's promised, so we promised, we deliver it. So don't worry. I think it's gonna be up soon, especially when we have a new set of seasonal rules for the new seasons, and we'll make sure that they was included.
Yes. Another concern, guys, is from players that already tried PTR, and they are concerned that Tier 3 and Tier 4 are too weak. So like they are not so strong. And guys, to that, like for us, it's the challenge is that we are testing the units internally, and sometimes it's difficult to recreate the environment with all the ideas and the strategies that you have. And we are very careful not to make units to be overpowered, because you remember that sometimes it's very easy to make this mistake, and it actually leads to a lot of negativity, and we would like to prefer to be careful, be humble. Maybe sometimes the unit on PTR is not performing well, but we will probably kind of see the data. We will strengthen this unit, make it stronger to like fulfill the role, but we do not want to make it overpowered.
Yep, I think that's pretty much for the day.
Yeah, I think so. Like, guys, honestly, like for us, it's been like. For different people, like 4 or 5 hours of streaming already.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being here, and for all your patience that you bared with us.
Yep.
Hopefully you get some interesting news today. You enjoyed CBL. Congratulations to JX. Crazy team that winning for 5 years already of all CBLs. The same core guys. Great play from our Turkish team, from YB, so beautifully played. And we hope to see you on Discord, guys, on YouTube. We're going to be posting the videos about our Tier 4, Tier 5 units today, tomorrow, and also some new information about the upcoming season and about the merge, and many, many more. So thank you so much.
Yep. Oh, one last thing too, we forgot to mention in our presentation is actually we're gonna have a give back, a payback event, after the merge. So what about it? It's actually we're gonna pay back to all of you guys who supported Conquest Blade all the way, all the way now, and then I think we will give back, different items, different rewards based on your history with Conquest Blade, and then I think we will announce the detailed rules later when along with the new season. So I think we're pretty excited for the new global ecosystem, and then I think we'll be likely to see more interactions with different regions players, and then we will reduce the friction, and also we will work closely with Steam to make sure it's a smooth transfer.
True,
so
guys.
don't worry.
True, guys. And again, we couldn't cover all the questions today, but please send your questions. Maybe after the stream, we maybe create a follow-up Discord channel.
Yeah, I think
stream follow-up channel, and you guys just throw your questions that you wanted to ask. Oh, actually, we already have.
We have a feedback section. Yeah.
We have a feedback section, and also developers' responses. So you can ask your questions in this, and Spartan, Cool01, myself, Yannick, Leon, we're gonna be there and responding step by step. So,
all right then.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for staying with us. It's 3 hours.
Yeah, and an honor for us. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you next time.